Hey guys! Sorry for the lack of makeup here. I'm actually just getting over a cold. If you can't tell, I'm all like groggy. I feel like every time I record a video, I'm sick. Um, but yeah, I'm getting over a cold, and today has just really been a day about like studying and getting all all my school supplies and my books, because I just started school back up yesterday, which was not bad. I'm actually kind of excited for this semester, but I don't like school. So, it's kind of like a you win some, you lose some. But the reason that I'm making this video is because I had a lot of you ask me if I would do like study tips and stuff after I did my what's in my school bag video again. So I decided that I would definitely do that. I love watching study tips because I'm a big like organized freak kind of person, and I like to see everybody organized. I don't always remain organized, but I like the idea, and I keep organized very well at the like beginning, and then I start slipping down. So I'm trying to really work on that, and hopefully it gets better. So, first off and foremost, I'm gonna give you just a couple tips on like studying and just like going to school and whatnot. Number one is to always go to class unless you're sick or unless there's an emergency, but do not skip class. I said this in my college 101 video, and guys, it is so important as it was then as it is now. Like, do not skip class. I skipped so much class last semester that I ended up failing. So I really, really recommend you not skipping class, because in college they're not going to track you down and like file truancy on you or anything like that. You're an adult and they expect you to come with the class, but if you don't, they're not going to worry about it because they just don't think you want it bad enough. So do not fall behind and stop going to class, because even just missing one class, you are so far behind. And that's what would happen. Like, I would be sick for 3 days and I'd go back to class and I was so far behind that I just was like so intimidated that I would just stop going. And I just ended up stop going and I failed. So guys, go to class. Biggest tip ever. Next is to have an agenda. If you guys want to stay organized, agendas are so helpful. This agenda I got from Target at the beginning of the school year. It's really cute. It has like little flowers on it. And all I do is I keep it bookmarked with the little clippy guys right here. You can get these at like Target and Walmart and stuff. The little paper clip guys, so I know exactly where I am. Um, and what I do is um, each day has a different highlighter color, so I know like which each day is. And what I'll do is if I have homework or something, I will go to when that homework is due. Like say I like marked out this homework in pink and it's due on this day where the pink is. So, or like something like a chore I had to do, and it was like it needs to be done on this day, and it corresponds with all the colors. Or I just sometimes just like flip it, flop it, and just do different colors. It helps my brain just see like which days are which. Anyway, so what I do is I like at the top of my each day, like these 2 days were pretty blah because I was just working. So Monday I had work, Tuesday I had work, and then Tuesday was like the day before school started. So I would like get prepared, excuse me, and like write down notes and things that I had to do the next day. And then school started, so I put school, and then I put all my classes in order, and then I would write what we did in that class, and then over here, what I would write the homework and like things I had to get done. And up here was like social or church events or stuff like that. And then so it just keeps going on. Obviously today's Thursday, and I had like homework that I had to get done. And then so then tomorrow is school, and I have each day or each class prepared. And if I had something due, I would write that whatever is due. Like I have a note card due tomorrow, and then I have like all my homework right here, and like another thing I have to do tomorrow. So like that. And then on my weekends, I would just like write stuff down, and like Sunday, I would write like all the stuff I have to do before Monday before school starts. So basically, that's what I do. It just really keeps you organized. It's just writing stuff down, and it really helps you get motivated and to remember stuff. I have such a terrible memory that I will like hear the professor tell me like, "Oh, you have a paper due on Monday," and I'm like, "Oh yeah, I won't forget." And then it'll be like Sunday night, and something reminds me of it. I'm like, "Oh my gosh, I have a paper due." Rather than writing it down and looking back at it and over the weekend and looking like Saturday or Sunday morning and looking at it and be like, "Okay, this is all the stuff I have to do. This is what I need to get done." Oh, and I definitely don't recommend you waiting till Sunday night to start a paper. Okay, I hate spirals. I don't, this always happens, but like the freaking spiral thing starts coming out of the the back of it. It's just frustrating. Okay, anyway, I'll worry about that later. Okay, sorry. Whew, I'm like sick and all. Ugh. Okay, so something that's really helpful to always keep on you are note cards. Like, these are massive, so you definitely don't need to have massive note cards. I actually have really pretty colored ones, but these are for my history class because we have to have this size and whatever. But anyway, note cards are so helpful. I definitely recommend these for study tips if you're gonna take, or if you're learning like definitions for certain words, or like laws. Like if you're taking government, this is what I did last year. I'd write like the law or whatever down on the other side. It was like the word of the, or what the law was called, and then on the other side I'd write what it is. These are good for like if you're taking a foreign language. These are good just for like small like little study notes. Instead of like getting your notebook out and going through them, having these just to like quickly flip through, obviously smaller versions, just to quickly flip through throughout the day and before classes are really helpful. The reason that I tell you to like rewrite your notes down is it'll help you remember them better by rewriting everything back down. I know that takes a while, but that's also a time for studying too, because you're like rewriting everything down and you're rereading everything, and then you're like memorizing it while you're putting it down on the page. So that's really helpful. So I definitely recommend doing that. And as far as that goes with notes, like for instance, yesterday we took notes for the first day in our history class, and I took it on a piece of paper because I wasn't sure if I was going to drop the class or not, and I decided not to, but I wasn't positive yet. So before I decided to waste a notebook and started writing in it, I just wrote it on a piece of paper. But today it really helped because I put it back in here, and I got to refresh and remember everything that I did or we talked about yesterday, and I got a refresher when I put it in here. So if you want to do that for like note cards or just taking notes, like if you bring notebook paper and you take notes in that, and then like you get home that night and put it in your notebook, and these are notes that won't get lost, and these are where you can go back and study for a test. But these are just kind of like quick, easy ones that you can transfer into your notebooks when you get home, and you have less to carry. Like you don't have to carry like a big notebook. You just carry a couple pieces of paper and write it down, and then when you get home you can transfer all that stuff to your notebook, and it helps like a studying tool. I know that's not super fun, and I know that takes a while, but it's really helpful if you're trying to study and memorize things. Basically how my notes are organized is I am very like I list a lot, and I do a lot of bullets, and I go by headings. So basically, like, for instance, a heading right here was Reconstruction, and then everything under Reconstruction, like everything you talked about, I would put under there. Typically, we go by slides in my classes, so, or like PowerPoints and stuff, so each PowerPoint would have like a title or whatever, and then I would create that title and then underline it, and that'd be my heading, and then every like little bullet or whatever was on that slide I would just write right here. That's just really easy, it's really simple, and it keeps your mind like organized for like, okay, this is all talking about Reconstruction, and this is all talking about wartime Reconstruction. So just like really easy things to keep you going like that. I use different highlighters, or I use color highlighters for one, just to catch my like brain, and so I see like exactly where the information ends. Also, I use different color highlighters for every day. So say this was on January 19th. Tomorrow I have class every other day basically, so like Monday, Wednesday, Friday is when I go to school. So I will have it tomorrow, which is the 21st. So when I take notes tomorrow, I will use a different highlighter color for my headings. That way I know which days are which. So if he goes, or if my professor's talking about, and we're still in like chapter 1, and he's like, well, we talked about this on January 19th, I can go like, oh, okay, and then go back and see which days are which, just differentiating between my like highlighting color, and then look at and see the date up at the top. So like that helps like if you have like a really big day full of notes and you have like multiple pages. That way, instead of like going through and like checking every single page and looking at the like date and stuff, you can just look through and see like a big chunk of what colors were where. So basically in here, this is my little history little guy. I think he's so cute. I love this thing. Anyway, so inside, see, I just have like all my blue color. And then for tomorrow, I will start and I will put the date at the top, and then highlight in a different color and go down. So that I'll know from this and this was all one day, and then whatever color, if I use purple tomorrow, that and whatever will be all the next day. It's just really helpful, and it helps like see where when days were and what ends, and if your like professor or whatever talks about that, because I know a lot of my old professors would be like, we studied this on Tuesday, and I'm like, okay, I don't remember when Tuesday was between all these notes, and so it's just really helpful. And I'm taking 2 history classes at the same time, so it's going to be really difficult for me to like kind of like cut the information anyway between the two, and also just for helpful. So I'm for other reasons. So I'm just trying to like make sure I get everything situated the right way. But anyway, studying is just super, super important, guys, and it really does help you succeed. So a big thing that I like to do, if you can, like if you're in school, I don't think you own your own textbooks, but in college you do, so you can, unless you're renting them, you can write in them and annotate and highlight. This is my speech book. I haven't got to actually like write in it yet because I haven't read it, but I highlight and annotate. Like I will highlight all like the bolded words, and then like normally their definition is like within that sentence, so I will highlight that. So then when I'm going back through for the test, I'm like, okay, we talked about connotation. Okay, let me look through exactly what that sentence was and what it was talking about and like the definition. I annotate off to the side too, so sometimes I'll write like the bolded word and then I'll write the definition, and then so that'll be like to the side instead of just like throughout the paragraphs. And sometimes I don't see them. Or I'll just write extra notes if like we're going through class and I remember her talking about something when I'm reading the book and I'm like, oh yeah, she explained it like this, and something that's easier for me to remember, I'll go to the side of the book or like draw pictures and stuff like that. I know this all kind of seems kind of like easy and duh kind of things, but they're things, yeah, that sometimes you don't even think about. When I take notes, a lot of times I use pencil, just because if I mess up or if I'm like writing it in the book and stuff, and I, like when I erase or something, or especially if I'm taking like math notes and stuff, and if I have to do workout problems, I always write in pencil, just because like it looks really messy and it just looks like hectic and like chaotic if I see like tons of scribbles on the page. So I prefer to just write like clean, pretty in pencil, so if I make a mistake I can erase it and it just looks like easy and like, okay, my brain can attain all this, is fine, rather than like crazy scribble. You'd be surprised what your mind does before you like look at a page and try to study. Like if it's crazy and just like scribbles everywhere and marks and stuff, your brain's like, oh my gosh, this seems so intimidating. But if it's like really clean and simple and concise and to the point, like make sure your notes are to the point, like try to shorten them as much as you can when you're writing them down. Because for one, teachers are not going to slow down, they're going to go through their lesson, so you need to learn how to write like concise and get like the main general idea. But anyway, so if it's like crazy and stuff, or you're not going to get it as well as you would if it's like simple, to the point. And also colors are fun. Like if it's black and white and boring, like your brain's not going to be like wanting to read it or like retain it. You're going to be like, oh, it looks really boring. But if you like pink or purple or whatever, it's like, oh, pretty, and it's like fun. Like that sounds really cheesy and kind of stupid, but you'd be surprised like how much that stuff actually works. So just making school fun and keeping colors and fun things in it are really going to help you. Also, just making sure everything is clean, simple, to the point. All your notes are concise, but still get the general idea and like the main idea, and that you keep them like organized, and there's not like a note up here and a note right here and a note right here. Like everything is like really just like perfectly organized. And like this sounds like really anal and like, oh man, she's like a super school nerdy kid, but I'm being like completely honest. This stuff is really helping me out. And when I'm not organized, when I just like don't care and I'm just writing notes and like it's really messy and I'm not trying hard and I'm like, my brain is not doing well and I do not do well in tests or quizzes or just like answering questions in class, like when you actually take the time and effort, it really makes a difference. So I just recommend you guys, encourage you guys just to really make an effort this semester and try hard, and it'll totally pay off. And you'll, at the end of the semester when summer happens, you'll totally feel good about it, and just feel like you did like a good job. So once again, I'm sorry for all like the ugh, but I hope this was good study tips. I hope it wasn't too boring, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye, guys.